2K Sports pregame show.
And on one of the epic nights in the NBA, welcome one and all to the All-Star Game on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside former All-Star Shaquille O'Neal and a guy who has watched the All-Star Game a lot, Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your name. You've watched it a lot as well.
And I'm fixing to watch another one.
To our coverage of the NBA All-Star Game with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan.
And guys, this really sets up to be an incredible night in terms of excitement from the coaches to the players to us here in the booth. I mean, this is such a fantastic event to be a part of.
Guys, it really is the greatest all-star game in all the sports, in my opinion. We have the best players in the NBA at the peak of their power. I mean, I can't wait to see what this year's game has in store for us.
This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. Now a look at the West All-Stars starting lineup. Curry is out there with Harden. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and there's Davis, and it's Hayward in at the 3 spot.
And for me, this is always one of the best weeks of the year. So much fun for everyone involved. Fans, players, coaches. What a blast.
Yeah, the NBA knows how to throw a party in celebrating its game. There's no doubt about that. And All-Star Week is one great show after another.
And there's such a sense of history that surrounds the All-Star Game. I mean, this is the 65th time this event has been held. And you think back on all the legends of the NBA, they've all made their mark in some way on this contest.
Irving drives in. Curry with some nice D. The West All-Stars with the ball. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. That one on DeRozan.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when a team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad. Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
And you talked about NBA legends, Greg, putting their stamp on this game. How about, for instance, Wilt Chamberlain's 42 points and 24 rebounds in that 1962 All-Star game?
Wow, I mean, that was amazing. What about Michael Jordan following up his epic win in the '88 Slam Dunk Contest with 40 points and the MVP award as well the next night? So just so many great memories from this event.
They're doing a lot of spectating there on D. But hey, it's the All-Star Game.
Curry kicks to Hayward. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Hayward's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And you know, this game, in a lot of ways, guys, has belonged to the Western Conference the entire decade. I mean, and last year they got the job done again. So although it did come down to the wire, the end result still was Western Conference dominance.
A wide open look here for DeRozan. Drains the 19-footer. DeRozan's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
And he gets it to go. Harden's got 5. And although victory for the Western Conference has been a theme in the All-Star Game recently, another trend, Greg, that was repeated last year was the East digging a big hole for itself. And you and I were talking about this, digging that hole for themselves early in the game and then mounting the huge comeback.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the East came back from 20 points down in the first half to tie it up in the fourth quarter. But once again, the comeback bid failed to come to fruition.
And it's the East All-Stars with the ball. 4-point game. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game. A big group substitution here for the East. Gasol. He's checked in for Horford. Anthony comes in for Chris Bosh. Paul George is checked in for James. And John Wall's subbed in for Irving. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. And George, here we go. West All-Stars with the rebound.
And if you remember last year, I mean, no star shined brighter in this game than Russell Westbrook. About 41 points, just one off Wilt Chamberlain's all-time record. And I'd say Russell was a very deserving MVP.
Now George, after the missed three from Stephen Curry. And Hayward with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Hayward. Paul Millsap's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. The West are making some changes. Griffin comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Klay Thompson in for Curry. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. That All-Star game scoring record of Wilt Chamberlain, which Westbrook came so close to breaking last year, has now, Greg, been on the books for over 50 years.
Unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, when Westbrook had that 27 points at halftime, I thought for sure that that record was going to go down.
Here's Wall. James Harden picking up that last basket. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two.
And guys, just thinking back to last year's All-Star game, I mean, something that was really special. How about the sight of Powell and Marc Gasol, two brothers facing each other on the opening jump ball?
That moment. When the Gasol brothers competed for the opening tip really was unique. It was the first time two siblings have ever started an NBA All-Star game.
And you could sense, Kevin, that the significance was not lost on them. They both talked about how much it meant to them. It was just a really cool moment to be a part of. No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a one-footer. Come on now.
Ball passes to Millsap. Outside, George. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush. And guys, you know, we've had some All-Star game shootouts over the years, but really nothing compares to what we saw last year. The teams combined for 321 points. That's just mind-boggling.
And that one's good. Millsap.
Not a lot in the way of defense here tonight, but, you know, that's about the norm.
Yep, this game is always going to be about offense, about entertaining these fans as much as possible. Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Hayward against Anthony. Stolen by Thompson. Stepped in the line, out of bounds there, and that will cost them the possession.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. Basically walked out of bounds.
First quarter. Great scoring through one. West All-Stars lead by 8. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on... And we welcome you back to the NBA All-Star Game as we get set to begin the second quarter.
And you can see these players now starting to get into a rhythm. Should see a lot better flow to the game here in the second quarter.
That's usually the case. I mean, it takes some time to gel with your teammates at the All-Star game.
And you know, there were a couple of records that fell at last year's All-Star game, but to me, the most shocking one of all, the number of three-pointers made. 48. I mean, the teams, they combine for 48 threes.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for the East All-Stars, they've got LeBron James. Horford is out there with Monroe. Then there's Lowry, and it's DeRozan in at the two-guard spot. Harden kicks to Griffin. 5 to shoot. Fades away and sinks the tough shot. And those 48 three-pointers you talked about, Greg, the previous high for threes in an all-star game was 30. So that's what I call shattering a record, huh? Man, oh man.
It was insane. And really that speaks to the evolution of the game as well. The game has become far more perimeter-oriented in terms of the skill set.
Fast break. Here we go. The 8-footer. Good on that shot, and with that, the West All-Stars lead is cut down to 6, and the buckets from James. Down low, here's Griffin, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really. Hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Chris Bosh is checked in for the Heat. Irving comes in for Kyle Lowry.
A little light on the fouls in terms of what's been called tonight, and that's usually the theme in this game.
I agree. I mean, the guys always play reasonably hard, but they don't necessarily play physically, if that makes any sense. The officials' jobs are usually pretty easy in this one.
And fans and celebrities alike have descended on this town for All-Star Week. There's been a bunch of fun events going on all over the place.
And, Greg, it's like that every year. I mean, no matter what city is hosting, it becomes a mecca for everyone who wants to take in one of the greatest scenes in all of sports. Not only to watch the best players, but to be seen by the other stars in the crowd.
The three from Harden. Here's Randolph. Picked by Randolph. Thompson dishes to Hayward. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. That's now 8 points for Gordon Hayward.
Right there, Randolph. Doing a good job opening up space for the shooter with the solid screen.
And the East All Stars decide to take their first time out here.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, I like this timeout, Greg. I think it's a good one because it looks like they need a minute to talk things through here.
Catching up on the changes for the East. Saul comes in for Al Horford. And it's John Wall in for DeMar DeRozan. And West also making a switch. Curry's checked in for James Harden. That is good.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Irving drives in. Rejected by Randolph. To the middle. And stolen by James. And he gets the bucket. Irving's got 4 this quarter.
And that's a nice exchange between teammates there. I mean, they really work well together, whether it's All-Star Week or the regular season.
You know, really pretty fresh they get to share this stage.
Are we seeing some high-flying efforts tonight or what? Are we ever?
I mean, they're doing some major damage to those rims.
Curry. There's his third field goal, and now he's made half of his 6 shots.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. And Steph Curry with the foul. That's his first foul. And the East with some change. Anthony comes in for LeBron. And Georgia subbed in for Kyrie Irving. 51 seconds left in the second quarter.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.
Oh, without question, Greg. I mean, the wise move would be to get themselves a quick shot so they have an opportunity to get that 2-for-1.
Anthony drives in. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Anthony's got his first points in this one.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
And the East All-Stars with some changes. Paul Millsap's checked in for Bosch. And Walker subbed in for John Wall. The West also making some changes. Howard comes in for Zach Randolph. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Gordon Hayward. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. Anthony, the pass to George. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. The East All-Stars shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night. And the first one dropped. And the East All-Stars making a change here. So he hits 1 of 2 from the strike.
A little breakdown. Now there, letting them get that rebound. You can't allow that to happen.
Here's Curry. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And the replay center out in Secaucus delivering the footage. And guys, it sure looks like the shot left his hands just a moment too late.
Yeah, this one.
And that concludes the first.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the first half of the All-Star game, and I would never try to speak for Shaq and Kenny.
Please don't.
But I have certainly been enjoying the action. Have you been enjoying the action, Shaq?
Are you looking at me, Ernie?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the action, Ernie. Very, very fun.
Yeah, this is a great first half. Can't wait for the second.
We never get tired of having the privilege to broadcast at such an amazing and fun weekend. This year's All-Star action is no different. And on top of all that, we've got a competitive matchup underway. Both East and West All-Stars this year looking primed to put on a real show in the second half that could go down to the wire.
Wow, Ernie, well said. Anyway, the game has been pretty close up to this point, but there's going to be a moment when everyone goes into overdrive. Stops being a free-for-all with scoring, and the Stars turn it up a notch and try to win. Everyone in this game is crazy competitive, and nobody wants to go home a loser.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.
And welcome back to the second half of the NBA All-Star Game. Always an exciting night of basketball.
Yeah, and I'm looking for the temperature to start to rise here a little bit in this second half.
Yeah, I'm exactly with you there. I think we'll see a little less showmanship and a little more intensity from here on out.
And, you know, the fan voting is what determines the starters in the All-Star game. Then the coaches will decide on the reserves. But either way, whether you're picked by the fans or the coaches, earning the title NBA All-Star. That's an honor none of these players will ever forget.
On the court for the West All-Stars, Anthony Davis is out there with Howard. Then there's Russell Westbrook. Then it's Curry. And it's Thompson in at the point. That's good. And that's now 9 points for Steph Curry.
And what a show Russell Westbrook put on a year ago at the All-Star game. I mean, you could tell early on that he was looking to take over and leave his mark.